This will be your video notes for two-step equations and along with the word problems. I'm going to work out the front side pretty quick because, guys, there is a different video for two-step equations. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, just going to go through it describing real quick. Always draw your line down the middle. Start on the variable side, number without the variable. So I'm going to subtract 9 on both sides. These cancel out. Negative 69 minus 9 is going to be negative 78. On the right side, we are left with negative 6r, and that's multiplication, so I'm going to undo it by dividing both sides by negative 6. On the left side, we are left with positive 13 equals r. Number 2, draw the line down the middle of the equal sign, add 3 on both sides. These will cancel. I'm left with r over 7 on the left side, and negative 5 plus 3 is going to be negative 2. We have division on the left side, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 7. These will cancel, and I'm left with r on the left side, and negative 2 times 7 is negative 14. Number 3, line down the middle of the equal sign. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. These two will cancel out. I'm left with 10p on the left, and negative 75 plus 5 is going to be negative 70. And now, because I have multiplication there, I'm going to divide both sides by 10. These will cancel out. I'm going to be left with p equals negative 7. Number 4, line down the middle, subtract 10 on both sides. These two cancel. 12 minus 10 is going to be 2. On the right side, I'm left with n over 7. Now, to undo that division, I'm going to multiply both sides by 7. And I'm left with 14 on the left and n on the right. Number 5, line going down the middle, add 5 on both sides. These two will cancel out, left with a over 6 on the left side, and negative 8 plus 5 is going to be negative 3. To undo the division, we're going to multiply both sides by 6. These two cancel, left with a on the left side, and negative 3 times 6 is going to be negative 18. Number 6, line down the middle, start by getting rid of the 8 on both sides. Left with x over 3 on the left side. 10 minus 8 is going to be 2. Going to get rid of the division by multiplying on both sides. These will cancel, and then we have x is equal to 2 times 3 is going to be 6. Number 7, line down the middle. That 10 is positive, so I'm going to subtract 10 on both sides. These two will cancel out. On the left side, negative 18 minus 10 is going to be negative 28. I'm left with negative 7 on the right side. To undo the multiplication, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 7. These two will cancel out. Negative divided by a negative is going to be a positive 4, and we're left with x on the right side. Number 8, line down the equal sign. I'm going to start with that negative 4, so I'm going to add 4 on both sides. These two will cancel out. 72 plus 4 is going to be 76. Negative 4x left on the right side. Got to undo the multiplication, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4. Those two cancel out, left with x on the right side. And 76 divided by negative 4 is going to be a negative 19. Number 9, line down the middle. Got to get rid of the 3 first. These two cancel out. Negative 1 minus 3 is going to be negative 4. On the right side, we are left with r over 2. Have to undo the division, so I'm going to use multiplication. Multiply both sides by 2. These two will cancel out. Left with r on the right side, and 2 times negative 4 is going to be negative 8. Number 10, line down the equal side. Got to get rid of the 3, so I'm going to add 3 on both sides. These two cancel out. Negative 2 plus 3 is going to be 1, a positive 1. Left with n over 6 on the right side. We need to undo the division, so we're going to multiply both sides by 6. 6 times 1 is 6, and we are left with just n on the right side. Now for the back side. Number 11, Julio's Bikes rents bikes for $15 plus $3 per hour. This girl, she paid $33 to rent a bike. For how many hours did she rent the bike? That's going to be our X right there. I'm going to go in the order that it's read. We're renting bikes for $15. That charge happens no matter how long we rent the bike. Plus, we're going to be charged $3 for every hour. So 3x for the number of hours that we don't know. She got charged a total of $33. Number 12, you had $24 to spend on 5 avocados. After buying them, you had $14. How much did each avocado cost? We're starting with $24. We're going to buy something. It's going to cost us money. We've got 5 avocados. We do not know how much they cost. So we're going to do 5x to represent how much we paid for the 5 avocados. Then we are left with $14. That's our final amount. Number 13, for our field trip, 29 students rode in cars and the rest filled 6 buses. How many students were in each bus if 323 students were on the trip? Going to go in the order that it's read in. We've got the 29 students that are in the cars. So we have 29 students there. Plus we've got some in buses. We know that there are 6 buses, but we do not know how many in each bus. So we're going to call that X. After that, we've got a total of 323 students. Number 14, half of your baseball card collection got wet and was ruined. You bought 15 cards to replace some that were lost. How many did you begin with if you now have 29? We do not know how many baseball cards we started out with, but we know that we lost half of them, so we're going to divide that by 2. Afterwards, 15 were purchased, and we now have a total of 29 afterwards. Number 15 is another name I'm not sure how to pronounce, but this person spent half of her weekly allowance playing mini golf. To earn more money, her parents let her clean the windows in the house for $4. What is her weekly allowance if she ended with $12? We do not know what her weekly allowance is, but we know that she spent half of it. Had it been a third, we'd divide by 3. If it had been a fourth, we'd divide by 4. Afterwards, she realized she probably needed more money, so she did some extra chores for $4. After spending half and earning $4, she now has $12. 16 is very similar. Half of your baseball card collection got wet and was ruined. You bought 14 cards to replace some that were lost. How many did you begin with if you now have 33? We don't know how many cards we started with, but we know that we ruined half of them. Afterwards, we bought another 14 cards. Once we are done with this, after we lost half and bought 14 more, we now have a total of 33. Jenny spent half of her weekly allowance at the movies. To earn more money, her parents let her clean the oven for $5. What is her weekly allowance if she ended with $15? Again, we don't know the weekly allowance, but we know that she spent half of it. Afterwards, she cleaned for an additional $5. She now has $15 left over. Number 18, Jennifer spent $25 on a magazine and some erasers. If the magazine cost $5 and the erasers each cost $4, then how many erasers did she buy? She spent $25 in total. So this is 25 equals. We now have to figure out how much each thing cost. If the magazine cost $5, that's one magazine. So that $5 is going to happen just one time. And each eraser cost $4. We're going to add on more, but we don't know how much the erasers cost. So it's going to be 4 for each eraser and X representing how many erasers. Annalie spent half of her weekly allowance buying pizza. To earn more money, her parents let her wash the dog for $8. What is her weekly allowance if she ended with $17? We don't know the amount of the allowance. We spent half of the money. Afterwards, she made an additional $8 for a total of $17 when she was finished. Another name I'm not sure how to pronounce, but this person spent half the weekly allowance on candy. We don't know how much allowance, but we know they spent half. To earn more money, the parents let her wash the car for $9, made an additional $9. When she's done with everything, she had $19 left over.